Alright, what's good, YouTube, man? We're back with another ranking video. So today, we're gonna rank the best shonen, or basically out of all the shonen, what is the best. Now, obviously, not all of these are gonna be specifically like straight shonen. It's gonna be debatable for some people. Some people are gonna say it's seinen or isekai or stuff like that. But we're not gonna get too crazy on what if it's actually supposed to be there or not. Also, there's going to be obviously anime that I haven't watched, so I haven't watched category. I feel like it probably will be a little. It probably doesn't need to be like triple S, but we'll just keep it there and we'll adjust as we go. All right, getting straight into it. Akame ga Kill. So I got onto this late, even though this is an old anime. I only recently watched this, I think, for the first time like a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, and it was really good. It was a different change of pace. Like it didn't, but I do hear that the manga is a lot better, and I haven't read the manga, but I know the anime changed a lot of stuff from the manga. But overall, I enjoyed it. It was a good watch. I didn't really have too many issues with it. The many slice of life episodes we got were pretty good. I know the one guy that was was on the other side. He was like the guy that wore the mask. Him actually having a family and actually caring. It kind of made you care about him a little bit and kind of felt bad about what happened to him in the end. But what happens happens. You know what I'm saying? So next, Attack on Titan. So damn, they got a good one early on. So I came on to Attack on Titan when it was already season 3 was already out. I want to say, yeah, season 3 was the first part of season 3. I think it already came out because I think season 3 was put into 2 parts. Might be wrong, but overall, I do love it. A lot of people said I've heard some people say they prefer like part 1 or season 1 before they started doing all the extra stuff. I've already read the manga. I know how it ended. I read the manga like I read the last 5 chapters as they were coming out month to month. So now we're just playing catch up on the anime. So as far as like, so for notice, for season 4, part fucking 27 or whatever they're on, I haven't watched all of those because I don't want to. I just rather just binge through the last season. I did that with Bleach as well. I'm doing that with Bleach as well. Like I'm watching Bleach here and there, but I'm not gonna really like stun it coming out week to week or whenever it comes back out week to week, just because I don't want to get teased like that. So this is strictly like manga and what anime from season 1 to part 4 or season 4 part 1. I have watched that, so I have watched the first part, but so I'd have to say overall Attack on Titan it's really great. It's really great. We'll put it in triple S. I don't know if I don't really know if there's it. No, I'm putting it in S. All right, so Berserk. Berserk was another anime I got onto late. I literally watched and read all of Berserk last year, and it is by far an S tier. And obviously, we caught the author passed away last year or the year before last. So yeah, it was last year I want to say. But fortunately, they're continuing the manga with his editors and I think other people that are involved that were close to him are working on it as well. So we've slowly been getting more manga chapters, but obviously it won't be hopefully it'll reach its peak of what its end goal of what he had envisioned for it. But for right now, it's a solid S. So Black Clover. So Black Clover, it gets a lot of hate along with My Hero. I will say the elf arc was the arc that made me say, all right, this is actually enjoyable. This is good. Like before that, I wasn't too invested in Black Clover, but like the whole spin around with the elf reincarnation thing, and then now with anybody, I don't think the anime has shown this yet because I'm straight manga. I'm straight manga for this now. I binged the anime up until where it was at, and then I took over with the manga. So then I became manga only. So I don't know, so I don't want to spoil it too much. But if it hasn't already been shown, but where the manga is, like the big plot reveal that we got, big plot twist, I really liked it. But overall, the series, It's probably a good B. It has 2 good arcs for sure, but the rest are kind of for me. So Bleach is gonna be an A tier for me. Might end up being top of A. I've done a video on Bleach. I love Bleach. It's one of the main animes that I grew up with, so it is a little bit of nostalgia bias and whatnot. But I do feel like the story gets a little too much bad hate than what it deserves. So this is Blue Exorcist. It's funny enough, there's another anime that I recently watched last year, and I haven't read the manga. I know they said the anime, the last like 4 episodes or 5 episodes of the anime aren't actually canon, so that kind of sucks. So I got a docket for that. So it was an interesting watch. The theme was cool, but overall, I have to give it an average anime. Boruto, it's a dumpster fire. And I get it. Chapter 79 that just recently came out, huge, twist to the story. I still didn't like the way it was implemented. I actually might make a whole video just talking about that. But for right now, I'm going to put it in a dumpster fire. And I'm judging it for the anime, or for mainly the manga, because I've been following Boruto since chapter 1. Like, when we started getting leaks of like, oh, there was a Boruto manga coming out, or there was a Naruto a sequel or whatever, I've been paying attention to Boruto since chapter 1. So it's not like I'm just a fan that just like pops in and out. Like, no, I've been around since chapter 1. I was there when Shippuden ended, and then we started getting the leaks for Boruto, and I've been there through thick and thin. But the series overall has just been a letdown. Like, when we have 2 or 3 different, we have 2 different retellings of movies. It's just not necessary, and I just wasn't a fan. Cowboy Bebop, Triple S. I know some people trying to say that it's overrated. My opinion, it's not overrated. It is very, very, very good to watch, and I even know some people that aren't anime fans and they've watched Cowboy Bebop and they actually, like it. I was also a fan of the live action they did. Unfortunately, the live action got canceled, so there's no season 2. But I actually liked it. The only thing I didn't like is some of the character portrayals were kind of off a little bit. But overall, it was still good, and they didn't have the dog Ed, not Ed. Ed is I forgot the dog's name. Damn. Death Note, triple. Hold on. If this other anime is in here, I'll give it a triple S, or I won't give it a triple S. Okay, does not look like it's in here. Okay, so I'll give this triple S. So if Code Geass, was in here, which I don't see Code Geass. If Code Geass was in here, I would give this the triple S over this. But for this list's sake, if it doesn't have Code Geass on here, I'm gonna put this in triple S. Very great anime, very short and to the point. It's not bogged down, so I don't really you don't feel the bloat. However, actually no, not triple S. S. Top S for right now. Actually, we'll put Berserk over Attack on Titan. Yeah. So my opinion is the second half of Death Note takes a nosedive, a serious nosedive. The first part, all the way up to the end of L's whole saga, amazing, great, perfect. But after with the Nier stuff, it was a tragedy. It was horrible. It was not enjoyable at all. So Demon Slayer. So I read all of Demon Slayer and finished the manga when the first season came out. Like I seen the first season. I was like, all right, it wasn't bad. Let me go read the manga. Found out the manga was ended already, so I read all that. The story is not that great. It doesn't really it wasn't that. I mean, it was entertaining, of course, but it wasn't like super I wasn't super invested into it when I was reading it, so I'm just gonna have to go ahead and throw a solid B. I think the animation carries the anime. But I'll put it there. Yeah. So this I forgot the name of it. I tried watching this last year. The Gray Man? Yeah, The Gray Man. That's The Gray Man. So apparently, so this anime is still ongoing. This manga is still ongoing. It's got quite a few episodes. Like it's actually like up to 300, give or take. So I watched the first season, which the first season was like 100 something episodes, and it wasn't bad, but it had a lot of filler. And I don't know if it was actually filler. I didn't check to see if these were actual canon. All this the filler like thing with canon episodes and filler episodes. So I don't know if it actually was like a full canon episodes here and there. But they had a lot of stuff that just was just bloated down. But overall, it was enjoyable, but it just bogged me down. And then finding out the series is finished, I just didn't. This was the type of anime I didn't feel like having to keep up with. This is the type of anime that when it gets finished, I want to go back and like watch it and find it. So for that, I'll have to give it a solid C. Yeah, top of C. It's not. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great either, but it was interesting to watch. So Dr. Stone, I do feel kind of bad because I did drop this after the first season. Not that it wasn't good. It wasn't catching me at the time, and I'm pretty sure it would catch me if I like give it another try. But it was still interesting, you know. It was still the whole plot of it was like the whole theme of it was kind of cool, the whole scientific route and whatnot. But if I have to give it a ranking, it was pretty average in my opinion. Nothing that really shot out to me. So this is Dragon Ball Super. Oh man, Dragon Ball Super. Oh man, I hate to do this to Dragon Ball Super, but it's by far the worst iteration. I might put a D. Yeah, I'm gonna put a D. It just was not it. It was not it at all. Do they have regular Dragon Ball? They just have Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super. They had Dragon, yeah. Okay, but I just again, retelling of movies is just never a good form of content. And then they make Goku regress as a character, and they make the rest of the cast still. Even though I know the rest of the cast still wasn't that great at the end of Z, but still, to this day I will always say GT is better than Super. So that's just me. But now Dragon Ball Z, I'll put this in A. I'll put this actually. Yeah, put that right there. It was obviously it's the OG, you know, but it is. It gets a lot of bad rep because people think it's just horrible, like no plot, just people just screaming. But there's actually themes and storytelling and subtle, you know, just good there's good writing in there. Boo arc is where it gets a little hard to see that, but before that, it's pretty easy to see. People that don't see it are just like hating on it just because. Fairy Tail, I haven't watched it yet. I was planning on giving it a try. Today I was thinking about giving it a try, but I just started watching a shorter anime just to, you know, say I'm watching them. I started watching Magi. I don't know if Magi is in Shonen. I don't see it on here, so I won't judge it. Actually, that's Magi right there. Yep, Magi's there. So I'm watching it currently, so let's go ahead and put that in haven't watched yet. But so I haven't watched it, but I'll give it a try. I know it's a longer anime, and I have heard the whole power of friendship bullshit, but I'm not worried about that. Fate Zero, Triple S. Fate Zero is amazing. I'm glad I, you know, watched it. Then I watched the other iterations of Fate. The other iterations of Fate are cool, but Zero is definitely the best one in my opinion. Fire Force, haven't watched it. Food Wars, probably never will watch it. I know that's a bad take, but the whole theme of it doesn't seem that interesting to me. So, Fullmetal Alchemist, Brotherhood. So, hot take. Obviously, this is just Brotherhood because Brotherhood is the full canon story. I like the regular Fullmetal Alchemist. I recommend people watch it. That's just me. I loved it. It was very entertaining. Both stories were entertaining, and both stories had like a goal in mind. So I did really enjoy it. So obviously it's a triple S that I don't feel like anybody needs to understand why Fullmetal Alchemist is up here. Ghost in the Shell. I remember this as a kid, being on Adult Swim, but I never actually watched it, and I haven't went back and actually watched. I turned it on like a couple months ago, but I didn't actually watch it, so we'll put that in haven't watched right now. Not Demon. What the fuck is this? Demon Slayer? No, not Demon Slayer. What am I talking about? Goblin Slayer. Goblin Slayer. This is Goblin Slayer. Goblin Slayer is pretty good. It's not too great. I know people give the first episode so much of like no, you can't watch it. You've seen the first episode. Yes, it is kind of fucked up, but at the end of the day, I mean, Berserk has some horrible fucked up shit. You know, Akame ga Kill, really, very gruesome, like murder wise. It's just like one of those things that's showing you how bad the world actually it can be in that verse. So, don't know what this is. Yeah, don't know what that is. I definitely haven't watched it. Haven't watched any sports anime, so I won't do that. Hunter x Hunter. Oh man. Oh man. Bottom of C. Hunter x Hunter is not great to me. It has York New is the best arc, in my opinion, for it, but it cuts off way too short. It kind of just drops off a cliff. And Chimera Ant arc is overhyped so much to the point that it's just insane of how much they hype it. Like, it is good. It's a good arc. It's cool, but it's just the writing isn't as amazing as people make it out to seem. I get it, the whole Miriam stuff. I did a whole video on Hunter x Hunter, the tragedy of it. So if you want more of my thoughts on that, it's right there. You can go back and look at that. JoJo Bizarre Adventure, Triple S. And this is like, even though it has this is just like part 1, part 2. But obviously JoJo is the entire JoJo verse. So JoJo, I got into JoJo 2 years ago. I got into JoJo 2 years ago. Best choice, it is just so entertaining. The power system, even though people will say Nin, I enjoy stands more because it adds more layers to the different complexity of different fights and how different matchups work. So I just think that series is just amazing. I'm surprised it's still going. Don't know what that is. Sports anime, not watching it. This is Log Horizon. Log Horizon wasn't bad. It was entertaining, but after the first season, I wasn't really that interested in it. So I'll have to give it a good solid C. Yeah. Mob Psycho just recently finished the last season of it. So, and it was very touching, very good ending to it. It's a good solid A. I kind of hate my boy got rejected at the end. He took the L at the end, so, but that sucks. My Hero Academia. So early My Hero gets a lot. It gets the justified hate in my opinion. It kind of sucks. It's very slow at the very beginning. It gets better at certain points. Deku was like very hard to root for it sometimes. So I can understand why people have issues with rooting for him. So, but overall, it's not that bad. I do feel like right now in the manga where we're at is dragging. Like, even though the creator said last year that it would be ending. Like, last year it was going to end at the end of last year, but it didn't. And it just keeps dragging. You just can't really see an end point right now. You can kind of see an end point, but you can't see it. So right now, I have to throw this good solid B. It's funny. The new generation are all about a B for me. Naruto Shippuden. Oh, I'm surprised they separated the two. So Naruto Shippuden is... It's not bad, but it's not great by any means. And obviously, it's going to be a nostalgia standpoint for me as well. So I'm going to give it a solid B. I'll put it definitely in front of My Hero. I'll put it top of B, yeah. First part Naruto, I get it writing-wise, it's probably a little bit better. But entertainment-wise, for me, it was not that enjoyable for me. I'd kind of way prefer Shippuden. But that's also because in that type of setting, I enjoy when the characters are more mature and more stronger and whatnot. But the tuning exams, the Resuke Sasuke arc were still very good to watch. So I'll put this at the end of B. So, One Piece, Triple S. Let me get this. Let me see how this Triple S is working out. We'll put that there. Okay. Yeah, that works. I'm not gonna go into why One Piece is Triple S, so One Punch Man. So before I got into One Punch Man, I was like stern against it because I thought it was a parody anime. It's just like it's a gag. It's just like, oh, he just one shots everybody. It's just like, how is that entertaining? But when I watch it and and now I'm reading it, of course, I'm like, oh, okay. So I see where they're going. They make it a point, just focus more on the supporting cast as opposed to the main character. But overall, it's pretty interesting. Saitama's still a funny character and whatnot. So the humor is like it is entertaining. So I have to give this a solid B. ReZero was an S. I loved it. The only thing I didn't enjoy all of the very last season because some of it kind of slow, but overall it was nonstop. Like I was nonstop glued to it. Like I finished that. I binged all of that within freaking a week. So Rurouni Kenshin, I'm separating the author from the art. So I'm judging Rurouni Kenshin for Rurouni Kenshin the series, not the author. So I know that a lot of people can't differentiate the two, but I can. So Rurouni Kenshin is good, solid, old school anime. Heck, one of the first few mangas I ever got, like manga, like volumes, was a volume of Rurouni Kenshin. So Shaman King, I haven't watched the new Shaman King, but the old Shaman King was interesting. But I don't really remember too much of it, so I'll have to give it I'll put it solid C. This is, I know the name of this anime, but I haven't watched it. Is that Ghost Eater? I don't know, something like that. Sword Art Online. So, obviously, the Elf arc, Season 1, Part 2, brings us down a lot because obviously, the whole situation. But Season 1, Part 1, had a lot of potential, and I feel like, because I'm a big MMO anime or game guy and whatnot, so I did wish that it would have been like more in depth, more like, showing more of like him progressing through levels and fighting bosses and stuff like that. So I feel like they ended that really short. And then the other seasons they get to aren't bad. And then like the most recent stuff is good. Underworld was really good. Alicization was amazing. I feel like just the elf arc and then cutting the first season so short kind of hurt it for me. So I have to put it at a good solid B. So Tokyo Ghoul. Oh man, Tokyo Ghoul. It was a good watch, but when I went back and read the manga, because people were telling me you have to read the manga because the manga is just so different from Tokyo Ghoul the anime, it was fucking insane how much better the manga is from the anime, and it's so crazy how much shit they cut. Like I was like, bro, if they had this shit in the anime, this shit would be 10 times better. Like it would get a lot more praise than it does. So I'm gonna judge it on the manga because that's when I really enjoyed. So I'm gonna put this at good. It's up there. Vinland Saga. I'm only gonna judge it on season 1 because that's the only season I watched, and I kind of didn't want to read, him going through his like PTSD / calming down the stage that he's in season 2 right now. I plan on obviously going back and like reading it / watching it, but for right now, haven't did it. So I'm gonna just judge this off season 1, and this is definitely an A. Askeladd's definitely amazing character. Put there actually. We'll put that comic got killed at the end. Yu-Gi-Oh! It's Yu-Gi-Oh, bro. Like, I mean, I'll give it a solid C just because. I actually recently watched like the OG Yu-Gi-Oh, and it wasn't that bad. So put it right there. Yu Yu Hakusho, hands down, in my opinion, out of Togashi's work, better than Hunter x Hunter in my opinion. It's a solid A by far. Love the characters a lot. The main cast is a lot more enjoyable. The villains are Sensui is Tagashi's best villain character by far, and then you can argue between Miriam and Toguro. I still think maybe Toguro, but Miriam does have still good writing development, but Sensui is basically what Miriam was trying to be, what he wasn't as thought out and as well written as Sensui was. But overall, this is my list. I know I was hoping that Triple S would be a little bit more empty, but it is what it is. I do kind of hate that Dragon Ball Super is a D, but I hate the way they did handle Super. It's enjoyable to watch, obviously, and I'm going to support it because I'm a Dragon Ball lover. But yeah, and then obviously Boruto is a dumpster fire. Whatever. But all right, y'all. I appreciate the video. Hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and let me know what your thoughts on my rankings are. All right, y'all. Peace.